GRS-BN KINABATANGAN election campaign intensifies. Sovereign Wealth Fund bill to be tabled this month. A public holiday on November 18 is under consideration. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shal Shamato, and this is TVS Nightline. The Barisan Nasional BN and Gabungan Rakyat Sabah GRS election machinery will continue to work together and enhance campaigning in reaching out to voters to ensure victory for BN candidate Datuk Sri Bung Mokhtar Radin in the 15th general election, GE15. KINABATANGAN Parliamentary BN Candidate Campaign Trail Program Coordinator Dato' OKK Titing Putang said the GRS-BN campaign work has now entered its 8th day and is progressing well. OKK, who is also UMNO KINABATANGAN Information Chief, said presently the GRS-BN campaign machinery has visited 18 out of the 27 voting district centres PDM, and he is optimistic that he will finish visiting and meeting voters at every PDM in 2 days. Now on the line we have Amirul Mukminin from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah.
Thank you, Cheryl, for the updates tonight from Sabah. Tonight we can say about the KINABATANGAN GRS-BN election machinery intensify the campaign in Negeri Sabah Parliamentary. That Bung say today that we will visit all 27 PDM in the whole of KINABATANGAN by organizing program and drama. He also said that UMNO Youth and Pemuda GRS together with KINABATANGAN Wanita GRS will continue to work together, running programs like forum and drama to garner the support of young voters from KINABATANGAN. Meanwhile, Parti Warisan Machinery representative for the KINABATANGAN Parliamentary, Asmat Ali, when contacted by the media today, the party had just concluded meeting almost 95% of the voters in the phase 1 of campaign for the Kuamot state seat. He said they focused on Kuamot before moving to Sukau and Lamak, the state constituencies, because the area was large. Moving around will be a challenge beside poor access to communication in the district of Sabah. In the coming GE15, the tussle for the KINABATANGAN Parliament seat will be a straight fight between Bung Mokhtar, who also the Barisan National Chairman, an incumbent for the past 5 terms since 1988, and Warisan candidate Mazliwati Abdul Malik. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Amirul, for that update. Now, moving on to the next news. Promises made during the last stage election by the ruling coalition in Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS with regards to the establishment of a sovereign fund have been realized, with its planning nearing the final stage. Premier Sarawak Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunabeng said bill on the sovereign wealth fund will be tabled at the State Legislative Assembly during sitting at the end of this month.
That's why what we promised, we did. Si kena orang lain yang promise tapi si deliver, ditagih dia ada. Jadi jaga-jaga kita orang semahan, salah niat kelak. 2 kali lagi kita jangan pisah berbuat 2 kali. Jadi kita, kerjaan kita, promise, deliver. Macam pilihan raya negeri, saya promise. Saya akan tubuh dana berdaulat sovereign fund for the future of Sarawak. I deliver. This month I will present a law on sovereign fund. Kemana kita cakap, kita betul kerja.
Previously, Abang Johari said the team is learning sovereign wealth funds from nations with abundant natural resources like Norway, less resource-rich countries like Singapore, as well as cities with specialized money management like London. The funds aims to ensure the future of the younger generation in addition to guaranteeing the state's financial position. On another development, the Premier said with the development of Kota Semarahan, yet another promise has been fulfilled.
Jadi saudara-saudara bermakna Semarahan is ready booming. With all this in place dan kerajaan kita sekarang ini kita dapat membangunkannya kerana our economy is quite strong and our also financial strength must be there. Kalau tidak susah. That's why we managed to give 1.5 billion. I still remember I announced di Kota Semarahan during your anniversary. I think 2 years ago. The Civic Center. Dan saya deliver. I deliver it. That's why what we promised, we deliver.
He said this when speaking at the 6th anniversary dinner of Kota Semarahan Municipal Council MPKS on Friday, November 11th.
In view of the current uncertain economic situation, there is no urgent need for a public holiday to be declared ahead of the 15th general election, GE15. Premier Dato' Patigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Todapeng said, therefore, it is inappropriate to gazette November 18, which is the day before the polling day for GE15, as a public holiday.
Apa yang berlaku, ekonomi kita akan terjejas. Apabila kita gazette holiday, you have to pay double kepada workers you. Ini akan menaikkan ongkos dalam kita keadaan ekonomi tidak menentu. Saya fikir tidak wajar kita terpaksa tolak. Apa yang berlaku menjejaskan ekonomi kita, produktivitas akan down. Kena gazetted public holiday, you have to pay double. Jadi kita ambil kira semualah.
He said this at a press conference after officiating at the Sarawak Kusayang program at Dataran Pekan Lingga yesterday, November 11th. So far, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan and Pulau Pinang have declared November 18th a public holiday to facilitate voters to return to vote on November 19th.
Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS has a good momentum to win the 15th general election GA15. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the momentum should be continued as the people place high hopes on GPS.
Ya, saya sudah pergi ke beberapa tempat dan saya melihat bahawa momentum itu begitu baik dan apa yang penting ialah untuk kita meneruskan momentum itu dan mereka menaruh keyakinan terhadap kerajaan GPS di bawah pimpinan yang amat berhormat Premier kita. Ini adalah untuk masa depan kita. Itu sebabkan itu kita harus mempertahankan, berjuang bersama. Berjalan dalam satu haluan yang sama untuk memastikan negeri kita ini akan terus stabil, maju dan makmur.
He said when met by reporters during the land title deed presentation ceremony for a Section 18 of the Sarawak Land Code for Agriculture for the Jalan Matadeng Selangor area and the temporary occupancy license for the Village Expansion Scheme SPK in Kuala Balinggian.
A total of 352 native customary rights NCR land and 35 temporary occupation license TOL have been granted to residents around the Muka area. This is in line with the government's initiative in defending Sarawakans' rights as outlined in the GPS manifesto. Deputy Premier Sarawak Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said this shows the government's commitment in empowering its people.
Jadi banyaklah Tok Mahat dulu mengatakan bahawa pengukuran tanah di bawah Seksyen 6 Kanun Tanah Negeri ini adalah cara kerajaan untuk nak rampas tanah. Tapi sebaliknya apa yang berlaku? Syukur Alhamdulillah lah rakyat kita tidak mudah terpengaruh. Apa yang berlaku sekarang ini banyak permohonan-permohonan yang telah pun kita terima. Dan ini adalah program yang berterusan kerajaan.
He was speaking during the land title deed presentation ceremony for Section 18 of the Sarawak Land Code for Agriculture for the Jalan Matadeng Selangau area and the temporary occupancy license for the Village Expansion Scheme (SPK) in Kuala Balinggian today, November 12. Adding further, he said that more than 1 million hectares of NCR land have been measured and 800,000 have been gazetted in Sarawak. Elaborating, Awang Tengah said the state government from the 60s until 2010 has never failed to survey NCR land.
Tapi demi untuk membantu, maka kerajaan negeri telah memperuntukkan sebanyak 40 juta. Ya. Dan juga meningkatkan kaki tangan kita 476 yang melibatkan perbelanjaan tidak kurang daripada 30 juta setahun. Kita juga tidak buat sebarangan. Sebelum kerja-kerja penyukatan dibuat, kita membuat perundingan dengan mereka yang terlibat, mengadakan dialog misalnya. Kita bincang dan setelah mendapat persetujuan daripada mereka, barulah kita laksanakan kerja-kerja penyukatan ini.
As of October 31st, 2022, a number of 12,095 residential lots have been measured, of which 11,272 lots have been issued with land title deeds under Section 18 in the Mukah Division. Through the NCR Land Measurement Program, there are 56 areas that have been approved to be measured, involving an area of over 19,000 hectares.
Meanwhile, Mukah villagers can now breathe a sigh of relief as several NCR lands have been identified and will be measured and proclaimed without any premium payment. In addition, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, has granted several temporary operation license to the villagers on Saturday.
Amat mengembirakan untuk saya sendiri terutamanya dan rakyat kawasan bahagian yang kena disukat tanah ini, yang menerima geran tanah ini. Kebanyakan dulu dorang banyak cakap yang dari, kalau hal politik ini dari parti-parti lain cakap ini menipulah, itu menipulah tanah. Sekarang ada terbukti sudah kerajaan Sarawak ini betul-betul menolong rakyat. Kesan dia kepada rakyat memang besar sudah sumbangan kerajaan Sarawak kepada rakyat kawasan Mukah ini.
Masa gembiralah sebab kampung kami diberi perkampungan barulah. Perkampungan baru jadi generasi yang kedua. Kami sebab di Kuala Balinggian kami terlalu kecil, saya ada pembesaran kampung untuk dibesar dekat ya.
Jadi kepentingan saya sebab tanah hak milik ini dikatakan YB Premier, timbalan Premier kita tu sampai akhir hayat cucu dan cicit kita. Itulah kepentingannya, dan terlebih lagi untuk bertanam, berkebun masa-masa akan datang.
Meanwhile, Mukah villagers can now breathe a sigh of relief as several NCR lands have been identified and will be measured and proclaimed without any premium payment. In addition, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, has granted several temporary operation license to the villagers on Saturday. The NCR deed is being issued under Section 18 of the State Land Code (SLC), whereby the section provides for the issuance of a title to an individual who has occupied and used any unalienated land in accordance with the rights acquired by customary tenure amounting to ownership of the land for residential and agricultural purposes. Meanwhile, during the ceremony, TOL owners were urged to renew their licenses every year.
Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS have no problem cooperating with any political party if they are given the mandate by the people to form the federal government. GPS Secretary General Dato Sri Alexander Nantalingi, however, said the negotiation on any cooperation will only be held after the end of the 15th general election and not before.
Nanta said this is not something new, as such cooperations have been practiced in political systems in most developed countries.
There's no need for GPS to come in, as we have mentioned, and should be understood by now. Yeah, it's different from the era of where you form a coalition first before you all go into an election. I think things have changed. We have to move on. As far as GPS is concerned, right from the beginning, our mission is to ensure that Malaysia is governed by a government of the day that is stable and can focus on the economic recovery, as well as also to look into all matters that is for the benefit of the citizen or the rakyat. Yeah, we do not want to.
He said this when attending the official opening of the SSM office building in Kuching.
Coming up right after the break, 120,000 ringgit allocation for sustainable development, and Ukrainians ecstatic after Russian retreat. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. A total of 120,000 ringgit is allocated for every parliamentary constituency to achieve Sustainable Development Goals (SDG). The effort is described as a crucial step in achieving a prosperous Sarawak by the year 2030.
According to the senior lecturer at the Faculty of Cognitive Science and Human Development, University Malaysia Sarawak Unimas, CAM Coordinator for Sustainable Development, Associate Professor Dr. Zaim Muarifuddin Shukri Nordin, the allocation is to ensure that every parliamentary constituency has a program-based community.
Setiap parlimen diperuntukkan 120,000.
120,000?
Ya. So, projek yang kita cadangkan 3 projek bermakna 40,000 untuk satu kawasan lah. So, dan lepas tu kita cari rakan pelaksana atau kita panggilnya solution provider yang bukan daripada government agency. Dia mestilah persatuan, kelab-kelab ataupun orang perseorangan.
Yang berasaskan komuniti.
Yes, yang berasaskan komuniti. Yang lokal.
This is in line with one of the 17 goals of sustainable development set by the United Nations. Building on the principle of leaving no one behind, the new agenda emphasizes a holistic approach towards achieving sustainable development for all.
Cakap tiada sesiapa ketinggalan. Kita tak nak sesiapa pun ketinggalan, walaupun mereka bagaimana sekalipun mereka tetap manusia yang kita ni, kita kena raikan mereka lah, ya. Kita akan cuba bantu, dan itu yang dipilih oleh YB di kawasan itulah. Macam di Parlimen Batang Sadong tadi, dia concern mengenai isu pendidikan, peningkatan bahasa Inggeris misalnya. So kita buat program, kita panggil provider yang train cikgu-cikgu bagaimana untuk supaya bahasa Inggeris tu lebih pengajaran bahasa Inggeris lebih lagi efisien dan lebih bersifat
inklusif.
Yang dipanggil inilah menariklah, menarik minat. Dan training tu dibuat sebenarnya 6 bulan. 3 hingga 6 bulan lah yang diajar, dan waktu itu COVID.
Dr. Zaim Warifuddin cited an example of a community-based program in the food and technology sector whereby most residents are able to increase their income despite already having permanent jobs.
Tapi itulah yang menarik tadi, yang peserta
Hmm.
tadi adalah wanita, ketiga-tiga mereka, dan mereka berjaya menjalani latihan dan mereka telah ada income sendiri. Ya, selain pada ada juga yang ada pekerjaan lah, ada salah seorang mereka tu kerja tadika lah, tapi tak apa, kerja tambahan yang boleh membantu. Dan orang kampung tak perlu lagi hantar 4 jauh. Kalau nak pergi daripada Tubau ke Bintulu tu dalam sejam juga kalau tak salah saya.
Jimat kos.
Kalau tak salah saya, mereka cerita nak hantar je RM50 upah orang mengambil hantar tu.
Baikkan lagi, mungkin lagi RM50.
Itulah yang kita cakap kemakmuran rakyat tu, sebab dan mereka buat demo lah, buat pastry, bun dan roti, dan lepas tu masakan biasa macam ayam masak ni dan sebagainya untuk peserta-peserta, dan supaya mereka ni akhirnya dapat bisnes dan mengusahakan sendiri. Dan ada yang lepas pada projek tu mereka dapat membekalkan makanan ke sekolah. Roti, bun dan sebagainya. Dan ada yang buka sendiri.
Dr. Zaim Warifuddin further explained that the Malaysian Parliament was commended by international authorities for implementing initiatives that are people-centric, which have become the benchmark for other countries. He said this as a guest on TVS election program Malaysia Decides on Saturday.
Thank you for staying with me. People in Ukraine's capital, Kiev, celebrated on Friday night after Ukrainian troops arrived at the center of Kherson to retake the strategically important southern city. As people cheered and chanted, another Kherson evacuee, Sergei Romanenko, said the people of Kherson had waited for 8 months for this moment.
Well, these are emotions that cannot be expressed because it is a synergy of people who have been waiting for 8 months for this holiday, and they have waited, and today we all celebrated together. This is just an unsurpassed holiday. Everyone's envies it, not only in Kiev, but all over the world. Kherson is all on the front pages today, so we are here today. I am from Kherson myself.
Meanwhile, another evacuee, Irina, is thankful to the Ukrainian soldiers for their services.
We feel great joy that finally our Kherson is free. I want to thank our warriors, our defenders who protect us, and also a low bow to those who died in this war. I'm very sorry for that, and I hope that it will all end someday and we will live happily without enemies around.
Ukrainian social media brim with celebratory messages as many businesses and official institutions, from National Mail Courier Ukpochta to the National Anti-Corruption Office, inserted images of watermelons into their profiles. The Kherson region is nationally renowned for its watermelon. The withdrawal marked the third major Russian retreat of the war and the first to involve such a large occupied city in the face of a major Ukrainian counter-offensive that has retaken parts of Ukraine in the east and south.
Contestants for Getaran Jiwa, Nada Idrus and Hakim Hidayat were ecstatic and excited when both qualified for the semi-finals in Getaran Jiwa. Nada and Hakim, who scored 60.55% and 50.74% respectively, were caught by surprise when the announcement was made, considering this week's contestant went all out to perform to take on the semi-finals center stage.
Nadar, 28 years old, who sang Madu Tiga on Friday, said he was intimidated by the presence of famous singer Liza Hanim as guest judge. He aspires to be a singer like her and hopes for support from his family and friends.
Rasanya tadi memang nak lebih, memang nak terus lagi dan
Meanwhile, Hakim, who sang Berkorban Apa Saja, did not expect that his rendition would touch the hearts of the jury, especially Norafiza Busman, who was on the verge of tears. At the same time, he told reporters that he wanted to take a break before taking center stage in the semi-final.
Saya untuk next adalah kejap. Jadi kita perancangan untuk tak tahu kita pun tak tahu lagu apa yang akan kita dapat. So kalau tak ada lagu, jadi kita tak ada perancangan untuk lagu.
Nadar and Hakim will be competing with Sam Dean, Izwan Dahlan, Suili George, Madi Sepuan, Arul Ariel, and Santiana Ramli in the upcoming semi-final stage. Meanwhile, there will be 2 more participants that will be announced in the upcoming 5th episode of Getaran Jiwa next week. Don't forget to tune in to Getaran Jiwa every Friday at 8:45 p.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and MyTV.
That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Cheryl Shaminato. Thank you for watching.